I love doing the generic like YouTube face reaction.
Yeah, I think it's great. Hey, there's our thumbnail.
That I'm not changing the thumbnail. Not changing the thumbnail.
Hey, but it is a sad time because as we're recording this, it is week 15 of our recording predictions. And if you're joining us again for another edition of this, welcome. And thank you again for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Really helps us out, supports the channel, helps get this content out to other NFL fans in the YouTube and social media realm. So we would really appreciate that. But for 007, or it's 007 and the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. And we're back with more NFL talk. And this week, we had a crazy week 14. Bunch of teams on bye, but I feel like it was still eventful. Still a lot to talk about. And unfortunately, I have some news about our predictions that we'll get to later in the show. And we'll get our week 15 predictions off our chest. But how you feeling, man, with almost 2/3 of the season done? We are hitting the final stretch before the playoffs.
Dog, it's going by fast. And I mean, I'm just so excited to see what the rest of the season has to unfold. Unfortunately, my former team isn't doing so great. But I'm also fortunate at the same time because when I become a fan of them next year, it'll all be good. It'll all be good again. But how are you feeling about it? Your team is doing a lot better than my former team. I mean, y'all got your asses spanked by the Lions, so.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about it last week. The Lions are just crazy. They're a really, really good team, and I have a lot of respect for what they're doing over there. So I still feel good about where the Packers are going. I mean, they're in a good position for a playoff spot. They got a tough game this week against Minnesota, but I feel pretty good about the Packers' season so far. I think they're underperforming maybe a little compared to like what people expected, but they've also had a lot of curveballs thrown at them. Jordan Love was hurt at the beginning of the season.
Nobody expected the Vikings to be this good too either.
No one expected Minnesota to be this good. Detroit has been, just amazing. So, yeah, I mean, for all things considered, I think it's been successful so far, but they really need to elevate their level of play if they want to make a deep playoff run. And I don't know if they're in that category, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of the teams that we think are, Ethan. But I guess with that being said, let's talk about our Week 14 NFL overreactions. I want to hear yours first because I feel like yours is about a team that we talk about a lot on the show. So go ahead.
I don't know about a lot. I don't know about a lot this year, and you should be proud of me. I haven't really spread too much hate towards this team, even though they've been good, just like how they've been in the past couple years. But what I will say is, Eagles fans, don't you worry. The collapse is coming. Just wait. We already seeing the cracks already. What AJ Brown doing in the post-game press conference? They asked him what's going on with the team. What's wrong with the team? He said passing. Who he talking about? Gage. Who is he talking about? His own wide receiver one is talking about him. Then here go Brandon Graham during the weekend, during his own podcast, talking about how there's a personal issue between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and how they can't let it spill onto the field. Now, should a Brandon Graham have done that? No. If I'm an Eagles teammate, I'm upset that he probably went, even if it was his own platform, just him being able to like give just the national media that kind of ammunition over Jalen Hurts and that team probably wasn't the smartest thing to do because he then tried to backtrack it like the next day. I love it. I love seeing the Eagles in dismay because they're at 9-2 and it don't even feel like that. It don't even feel like that. Like you just, it's coming. Just wait. Because for how
11 and
11-3?
11-2. 11-2.
Pardon me. I don't give a fuck about that weak ass team. But as far as the credit, as much credit as we give into Saquon Barkley, the fact of the matter is the Jalen Hurts hate for me is coming right on time this time of year. It's coming. Last year was a great one too, losing every single game down the stretch, choking the division to the Cowboys. Chef's kiss. Oh, and this year is gonna be a good one too. I feel it. We're gonna have a good little season of how do the Eagles choke it again. Oh, because we're talking about the Eagles as if they're the main challenger to the Lions. Am I wrong?
No, I mean in the NFC, you're completely right. I really don't think there's another team that's on Detroit's level, and
Hold
if there
on.
is, it's
But
Philly.
it's Philly. But I don't know. Philly, it just don't seem like it. And
Mm.
to me, the biggest thing is Jalen. Jalen's been very mid this year. Like, he's not playing bad. He's not playing bad. Last year he played bad. He's not playing bad. But he's not in the discussion for the biggest reasons why I think Philadelphia's been good this year.
I think that's fair. And I agree with a lot of the things that you're saying. I do think that they need to get over that personal thing, and Brandon Graham putting it out for the public when it really didn't need to become that is concerning. I don't know, man. I feel like for me, if I had to put it like on a potential Philadelphia Eagles collapse, if I were picturing who I would blame for what is going to happen to this team in the playoffs, I'm looking at Nick Sirianni, because there have been occasions this season where, hey, hear me out. I know you're going to look at me like that, and you're going at Jalen Hurts, and I'm with you. Jalen he's not been the elite quarterback that I thought he was too. He's been solid. He's been good. But as the head coach of the team, I get Brandon Graham's a veteran. I get he's a OG Eagle. Can't really tell him what to do, but you got to have control over your locker room, man. You cannot have this kind of stuff coming up week 14 or week 15 of the NFL season when you're trying to make a playoff push. And the only thing that he can do from now on is just try to rectify the situation and try to get Jalen and AJ Brown back on the same page, because they are two of their highest paid players and the two most efficient parts of their offense besides Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So
And
that's up to Nick Sirianni. And if they can't get it figured out, that's on him. He is the leader of those men in that locker room. And whatever personal bullshit that they have between them, Sirianni's got to be the one to put it together, because it's his team.
I'm not mad at you from that perspective, right? He is the head coach, and that kind of stuff, it really can't happen. Like, it's AJ saying one thing, right? Kind of throwing Jalen under the bus. It's another thing too, Brandon Graham not really throwing Jalen under the bus, but kind of giving credence that, like, yeah, there is an issue between the two.
There's beef, yeah.
And it's not football related. Because Brandon Graham, after this, he's not the only one that's saying this. A lot of columnists and media personalities take it with a grain of salt. I've said that there's been something going on between them two for a minute now. And that's where I kind of look at you as, and I agree a little bit with Sirianni. Like, all right, you got to lock this in. Like, now it's crunch time. It's the last weeks of the season. Y'all want to make a deep playoff run, right? You're one of the contenders in the NFC. You can't have your star wide receiver and star quarterback beefing with each other.
Yep.
Especially when you have a guy like Saquon playing as good as he is playing, potentially getting 2,000 yards on the season. That's how good he's been playing. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really to save the season at this point, because you're right. These things that come up could be what stops them from making a playoff push, from making a Super Bowl push. So again, I think it's on Sirianni to get his guys together. They still got time. It's not, I mean, this is week 15, and we've got a lot of playoff football to play too. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles maneuver past this. And I'm glad we're talking about the NFC, because I actually have an overreaction about one of the wild card teams, or potentially division winner, the way it might be looking. And I'm thinking about the Los Angeles Rams. And the game that they had against the Buffalo Bills was, first off, just so much fun. Super high scoring. Josh Allen had probably the best game I've ever seen a quarterback have, where he still lost. He had 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing, and still lost. But that goes to show how hot the Rams offense can get when they've got all of their weapons together. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Stafford was looking good. They're going to be a scary team for one of these higher seeds in the NFC to play against if they come in as the 7 seed or somehow find a way to win the division, because looking at their schedule, it's not out of the question. They've got some real easy games coming up. So I like the Rams, man. I don't know how you feel about them, but they really impressed me with that win over Buffalo.
My thing is, ever since the Rams won the Super Bowl, right? We do this every year with them. The last 2-3 years, we've done this every single year. The Rams can upset somebody. Nobody wants to face the Rams, and they get in the playoffs and they don't do nothing. On paper, the Rams can, and with that offense, have a good shot of upsetting one of the favorites in the NFC. You have Stafford, you have Puka, you have Cooper Kupp still. Kyron Williams is a baller. Sean McVay is the best play caller in football. That offense can put points up against anybody. The problem is, can they do it collectively as a team to lead to wins, especially in the playoffs? Because like I said, we said this. We said, oh, they might be able to upset Detroit. Didn't upset Detroit. Right, last year. I know we say, oh, look at Detroit, like how great they are. And Detroit is a great team. But this year, we're saying the same thing again. My thing with the Rams is when they're on, they're on. But when they're not, they're not. You see what I'm saying? I just have to. No, I'm with you. At a certain point, we have to stop. Not saying gas them, because this is week 14 NFL reactions. But at a certain point, we need to like talk about them like a normal team and not like a dark horse, because they're really not a dark horse, because I haven't seen them do dark horse things. Yes, the win against the Bills was impressive, considering that Josh Allen had maybe the best game of his career and he still didn't win that game. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to catch Seattle. Even though Seattle's one game ahead of them, I think Seattle's just on fire on all cylinders. They're winning ugly, but they're winning. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're heating up at the right time. The Rams, yes, they are getting everyone healthy, and they might have a little easier schedule than the Seahawks. The Seahawks have to go play y'all. They have to go play the Vikings. They play the Bears, and then they play the Rams on the last game of the season. So I think that game at the end of the season is going to be very important. But hey, I just got to see them do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I'm going to hit you with one hot take too. I think we might need to start having a conversation about Puka Nacua being in that generational wide receiver conversation.
He's nice, man. He's so nice.
Nice ain't just an understatement, right? When we talk about the great young wide receivers that we've seen, especially in our lifetimes, right? We saw OBJ, how great OBJ was. As a Cowboys fan, I saw it live and direct. We saw the two LSU boys, Jamar, Justin Jefferson, even how great CD's been in Dallas.
We saw Julio in his prime.
But I'm talking about early in their career. Early, how great they are. Puka is in that conversation for how great Puka is. Yes, I think he has the benefit of playing in an incredibly good system like the LA Rams with Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is probably going to end up with a gold jacket himself. Yes. But for him to metaphorically snatch Cooper Kupp's chain as the wide receiver one on the team, because make no mistake about it, I'll stand on all 10s on this. Ever since Puka Nacua has been on that Rams roster, he's been the best wide receiver on that team.
Honestly, that's crazy. I mean,
as a rookie, he was better than Cooper Kupp.
Hey, I love Puka. I think he is a dog. But I think even he would disagree with you a little bit on that, just because he's even gone on record to say that a lot of the stuff that he gets is from Cooper Kupp. And I think he would just disagree with you on the idea of like he came in right away. I think, he learned and he picked up and he adjusted really quickly. And, like you said, with the McVay offense, he's obviously benefited a lot from it. But, I mean, the results speak for themselves. He had the best rookie wide receiver season that we've seen. And he is the only thing that's going to limit him, in my opinion, is his health. I just think like there have been a lot of health concerns with him in the past in college. And even in, this year, he missed a little bit of time with some injuries. So that's the one thing I hope. I really, really, really hope that he can just stay healthy, because I'm with you. I think he could be one of these generational wide receivers that we talk about, with the Jamar Chases, with the Justin Jeffersons of this era.
I just feel like Puka needed to be shown a little bit of love in that regard.
Hell yeah.
But
He's a dog.
For sure. Well, that's our Week 14 NFL overreaction. If you want to see some more of our overreactions, check us out on Instagram, like Gage said, at AWR Podcast, on TikTok, X, Twitter now. But even on, what else we got on? TikTok, Twitter, X, IG. We post all of our picks, all of our records, as well as our previous takes. So make sure to check it out.
Hell yeah. And speaking of records, I think this is a good transition to talk about what happened this week.
Yeah. Man, just start writing Ethan Hamilton on that trophy. Because I already know, like, just by your reaction, I know it's that guy this week.
It's not looking good for me. I'm always the optimist. I'm always thinking that maybe I'll make a comeback, but this is a pretty bad week for me. Ethan, I'll let you take your little victory lap first, because you went 10-3 this week. With your only misses being picking Tennessee over Jacksonville. You picked Chicago over San Francisco, and you picked Buffalo over the Rams, which, I mean, that game was really good. I won't blame you for that one. But how do you feel about the other two missing?
I'm fucking pissed. More so, the Bears one, I took a little bit of a risk, right? I didn't think the Niners would still be like, the Bears are just ass. Like,
they're so bad.
They're so ass, bad. Right? They're ass, bro. Like, the Niners aren't completely ass, but the Bears are ass. The Titans, I thought maybe because they don't have a head coach. Doug Peterson's still there, right? He ain't got fired yet, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's got. Yeah, as far as I'm aware. I mean,
I don't pay attention to the Jags like that. Sorry, Jags fans. I don't pay attention to y'all like that. But I'm just thinking, no Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones is there. I'm thinking Will Levis does something, but I forget Will Levis fucking blows. So that team can't score no touchdowns. But honestly, I'm proud. I feel bad though. I was allegedly trying to help one of my homeboys with some picks this week, and gave him all opposite picks that I gave to this podcast, thinking I wasn't really too fond of my picks. You know, it's someone else's alleged other money, so I don't want to screw them over. Boy, did I screw him over! Boy, he went 0-5 on all the picks I gave him, and I got him. Like, I think I went 4-1 because I picked pretty much each one of them the opposite way. So yeah, I feel bad. The homie out there, you know, if you're watching, my fault, dog. That's on me. This week I'm gonna help you out though. This week I'm gonna help you out. Just watch this video, and you won't have to come ask me in person for my picks, because I be forgetting. I really do.
Hey, that's a great plug, E. And don't ask me for my picks, because last week I went 6-7, and I took a lot of risk and some biased ones. I took Green Bay over Detroit. I felt good about the way Green Bay was playing. I took Atlanta over Minnesota, thinking that Kirk would have his revenge game. That obviously wasn't the case. Kirk Cousins is so washed. He is bad. He's just not playing well right now. I was with you with Tennessee. I picked Arizona over Seattle, divisional matchup. And then I also picked the Chargers over the Chiefs. So, I mean, I'm upset. But I mean, E, you've been on a roll, man. 10-3 is really, really good record, and you took some risks too. So I can't do anything except just be give some. Yeah, no, okay. You know what? I was thinking more of like a sportsmanship of like,
take it out, Ethan. Take it out, Ethan. It hurts. It hurts. Take it out, Ethan. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Shut the fuck up. All right. Let's move on. Actually, so before we move on to our predictions for Week 15, there are no teams on bye. I think all of the byes are over, if I'm not mistaken.
Cox sources.
But let's get an idea of what the playoffs are looking like right now, E, in the AFC. Right now, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills as the 1 and 2 seed. Both have clinched playoff spots. At the 3 and 4 seed, we've got Pittsburgh and Houston leading those divisions. And then the wild card teams, as of right now, are the Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Denver Broncos in that order. Still in the hunt You got Indianapolis, Miami, and Cincy, who got a big win against Dallas. And before we go on to the NFC, anything about the AFC you want to touch on?
Not too much. It isn't incredibly competitive, especially with even though the Chiefs are still at 11-1 or 12-1. Again, the offense really hasn't been going. Again, I think a large part due for them. The whole wide receiver core is decimated with Rashee Rice out for maybe he comes back for the playoffs. They said maybe. Hollywood Brown didn't get to play at all this year. So it's there for the taking, definitely. It just sucks they have a generational defense on the other side of the ball. But I wonder what the Bengals are going to do. They got a good win against the Cowboys, which really they shouldn't have won. If Dallas recovers that
punt,
they win that game. Because what is it? A minute 40 left, and they're on the 50-40 of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if Dak plays that game, Dallas wins that game by more than 2 scores. Really, Cooper Rush is really bad. He's really bad, bro.
Yeah,
he's really bad.
Yeah, he's still throwing seeds to CD.
Yeah, I know, and they didn't give CD the ball at all in the second half, which I'm all for it. Like I said, next year when I become a fan again, I want Ashton Gentry in that backfield with Rico Dowdle. Shout out Rico. Right. To the Cowboys 10 fucking games to realize that he clears any running back they have on that roster, clears them. Back-to-back 100 yards game. I think this is the best game of his career. He finished with like 134. And it still felt like he left the offense left a lot of meat on the bones because it's like, especially in the fourth quarter, it's like, dog, Rico's averaging 7-8 yards a rush. Why are you throwing it 3 times in a row with fucking Cooper Rush?
Yeah.
But
I get it.
As far as the AFC, like I said, I just don't know if Cincy's going to kind of take the gas off. I think this, like I said, it was a must-win game for them to maybe have any relevance. They need to win out. They have a chance at the wild card. They have to win out.
And I think they can be eliminated, I think, with the Chargers and Denver winning, I think, this week. That might be cock sources. But
they're 2 games behind each, right?
Yeah. So as of right now, wins tiebreak over Denver based on head-to-head percentage. I think it's still kind of up in the air, but it'll be interesting to see what happens there in the AFC. But before we get to our picks, real quick over the NFC, Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles are the 1 and 2 seed, both clinched already. The 3 seed right now is Seattle and Tampa Bay at 4. The leaders of those divisions. And then the NFC North take the 5 and 6 with Minnesota and Green Bay. And as of right now, Washington is in at number 7, but teams to look out for who are still in the race. Basically, everyone is still in it in the NFC because the NFC West and the NFC South are so ass. But the only team that has been officially eliminated from the NFC are the New York Giants. So technically, everyone else, even the Dallas Cowboys, still have a chance at making the playoffs. So
we need to end
why not, dude? Why not?
Expeditiously.
I would love it. Man, imagine Cowboys turn it up. Somehow make the playoffs, ruin that draft status.
I was going to be so sick if they beat Cincy this week.
Man. It would have fed families, man. It would have
not mine. Not mine. Like I said, the NFC's the Lions to lose. Eagles, I still think are the biggest contenders. The Vikings, again, I just got to see Sam Darnold do it. We've been calling him a pumpkin. He hooped. He fucking hooped against the Falcons.
He really did.
Him and Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison finally.
To be fair, they were wide open. Did you see Alfred getting – dude, he was nowhere even near the ball. He kept losing it. Like,
yeah.
Dude.
But like I said, that's going to be a big piece to get Jordan Addison involved. It might be – because that defense is legit, boy. That Vikings defense is legit. They just got to get another co-star, and they do have a good enough co-star when they want to use him in Jordan Addison. So, but those are my thoughts on the NFC.
Hell yeah. All righty. Well, with that being said, let's get into our Week 15 NFL predictions. And as always, we kick it off with our Thursday night football game on NFL Prime Video. It is the LA Rams visiting the San Francisco 49ers. I think my overreaction from earlier will kind of give you an idea of where I'm going here. I'm taking the Rams. I think they look really good, and the Niners are coming into this banged up. Even after a win,
they smoked the Bears.
I still don't feel great about it. Yeah, the Bears stink, though, to be fair. I don't think the Rams stink. And Puka and Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford are all healthy. And when they're healthy and they're hooping like they did this last week, they're a scary team. I'm taking the Rams.
I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to give you the Niners. They're playing at home. Cox sources say that I like the Niners against the Rams at home more than anything. Like I said, it's just inconsistency for the Rams for me. I think this game not really puts a nail in the coffin for them maybe winning the division for Seattle, because Seattle still, they have a big test. We're going to get to it later against y'all. But I don't know. I like the Niners in this spot. 6-7, 7. Both these teams, if the Niners win, both these teams will be at 7-7. Only a game and a half behind Seahawks with 4 or 5 games left to play. So give me the Niners.
All right. And with that, we'll start our Sunday 12 o'clock window. And we will start with the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Carolina Panthers. And I think I know where you're going with this one, because you want to see your former team, keep losing games so they have a better shot at Ashton Genty. I'm going to take the Panthers here. I think they looked really good last week too. And if it just weren't for Leggett dropping the ball, they would have beat the Eagles. So I think Bryce Young too, shouts out to him, man. He went through a lot of adversity at the beginning of the year, getting benched. People were calling him a bust. And he's come back and played a lot of meaningful.
He's had a good season. He's had a good season.
He really has.
Right? If he can just end this off right, he's had a good season.
Of all the teams that are like in the not playoff tiers, he's definitely the quarterback that's impressed me the most, especially as of late. Like, just the way he's been able to make decisions quicker, get those throws on point too. He's been
he threw that one throw out the back of the end zone where I was like, dog, that was legit. That was legit, yeah. Bro.
He's nice. He's nice.
He hasn't thrown for a lot of touchdowns because, again, there is no weapons on that offense. Not one bit. They're going to be looking at a guy like Travis Hunter or Tedero McMillan this offseason, which I think both are great fits. But I want to leave with my heart here and pick the Panthers, because the Panthers have definitely been playing better than the Cowboys. But, like, the Cowboys are a competent team, right?
Yeah.
And I really feel for – you see what happened with DeMarvion Overshawn? Dog. Blew out his whole knee.
Ooh.
MCL, ACL, PCL, all torn.
Fuck, how did he do that?
He got rolled up on.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And you knew it. You knew it.
On the Simpsons broadcast, they didn't show that.
That is good. He was sitting on the ground, and he just looking at his leg. Everybody was looking. They knew it, man. And they said he's gonna have surgery this week. And Overshawn, bro, he's been a stud this year. Dallas missed him a lot last year, and he's been a stud. It sucks for him, at least, that the Cowboys weren't good this year, because he's been playing great, bro. He's been playing him and Micah, that linebacker combo. I was like, all right, Dallas got somebody that can play on Micah level. That's how good Overshawn was. And to see him have this knee injury after he tore his ACL last year, Jerry said more likely than not he's not playing at all next year either.
That's brutal.
It fucking blows, bro, because that guy's he's a stud. He's a fucking stud. And the Cowboys are a competent team, but I just think Cowboys need to get in that mode of, like, shutting it down for the rest of the year, man. Like, especially with certain guys that are from injury, right? Trayvon Diggs has been banged up the whole year. Even after he's coming back from the Achilles, but even then, it's like his ankle's still not right bothering him. Bland is coming back.
He was getting cooked.
Injury.
He was getting
cooked. He wasn't getting cooked that bad. That last touchdown, he got burnt bad.
Yeah.
That last touchdown, he got burnt bad. Again, he's coming back from injury too. Like, that first touchdown, it wasn't that bad. It was just a great pitch and catch by Burrow and Chase, because he was all over that shit. But like I said, I think those are two guys that definitely need for Dallas, your all-pro corners. Both those guys need to rest for the rest of the year, in my opinion. Let's start tanking. My heart's leaning towards Dallas. My heart's leaning towards Panthers. Like, I want the Panthers to win, so Dallas keeps falling in the draft. But my head's telling me that the Dallas just got too many good players, man. Like, they really just do. And even if Cooper Rush just plays somewhat competent, I think Dallas wins this game. So I think Dallas wins this game.
All right. So you're taking Dallas. I'm taking Carolina. We can move on to our next game. We've got the Washington Commanders visiting the New Orleans Saints. Commanders were on a bye last week. Saints really just got away with a blocked field goal for a win. We've had a lot of those this year. Was a very impressive one too. Just jumped all over the line completely. Brian Breesy, very, very cool play from the Saints. But I like the Commanders, and I don't want to pick against them or Jaden Daniels personally. So I'll take Commanders here.
I'm gonna go with the Commanders too. Even though the Saints are 3-1 in their last 4 games, so I know they're kind of.
They got Jake Hayner at quarterback now because Derek Carr's on IR. He's concussion, and I think he broke his hand or something, Cox sources. But yeah, I think we both go with Washington here. Next, we'll go with the Miami Dolphins visiting the Houston Texans.
That needs to be a good game.
This is going to be a good game, man. I kind of am leaning towards Miami just because I like the Texans. I want to see the Texans do well. They're my second favorite team. But just what they've put on the field this year hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been as convincing as you want it to be as a Houston fan. And again, their injuries, Nico Collins was out, Stephon Diggs out for the season. That really hurt them. But the offensive line has been atrocious. It's been really, really bad. CJ has not played as great as we thought he was going to play in year 2. And not to take anything away from them, I still think they're in a good position to win the division, but Miami needs this win desperately, and they know it if they want to even stay in the race. So I'm going to take the Dolphins and Tua, who's playing some good football right now, and it helps that they're playing in Texas in a dome. Doesn't really affect them. So
I hear you. No, you make it. I think it's gonna be a close game than people think. I'm gonna go with the Texans though. I just don't feel like the Dolphins have the pass rush to really put pressure on CJ and that really bad Texans O-line. So give me the Texans.
All right. Move on to our next 12 o'clock game. We've got the Baltimore Ravens visiting the New York Giants. And I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the sign that was flying over MetLife Stadium?
Oh, I heard about it, and Malik Neighbors is like, I ain't pay for that shit, so don't look at me.
Yeah, if you aren't aware, the Giants, someone paid for someone to fly a plane over MetLife Stadium during the Giants game, and the message read, Mara owner, sell the team, or it said, fix this dumpster fire, please.
That's funny.
Pretty funny. I'm taking Baltimore. I don't really need to say much more.
Right there with you.
All right.
Give me Baltimore.
All right, cool. Glad we're on the same page there. Next, we got a tankathon with the New York Jets traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. And I'm really conflicted here because both of these teams are really bad, dude.
They are.
I'm going to take the Jets. It's bit me in the ass a lot of times picking the Jets, but I think this is one where I would feel okay if they ended up losing this game because they're bad. Jacksonville's bad. I guess it's just.
I'm right there with you. I just think Jacksonville's just a little worse. I just think a little worse, especially at the quarterback situation. Right, Mac Jones. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is coming back from his concussion, but yeah, give me the Jets.
Yep, I like the Jets. Let's move on to got a couple more 12 o'clock games, and then we'll go to our 3 o'clock window. It is the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Tennessee Titans. I think we know where we're going with this one. Bengals are another team, like we just talked about with the Dolphins, where they need a win if they even want to stay in it. So I think the Bengals get it done against a very lifeless Tennessee team as they
right there with
lost
you
to Jacksonville.
Tennessee's bottom 3-4 team in the league. Bengals still trying to get that last playoff spot. I think the Bengals win this game. They had a good win against Dallas. We talked about earlier. Yeah, give me them.
Yep. All right. Last 12 o'clock game, Kansas City Chiefs heading to Cleveland to take on Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. I'm assuming we're picking the Chiefs here. Or are you taking Jameis?
I feel I gotta give you a chance to come back. I gotta give you a chance to come back. It's not interesting if I just get them all right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go
Yeah,
out on a limb and probably take my biggest upset of the week. And it
of
might
the
make me
year
look
maybe.
of the year maybe. It might make me look as stupid as I looked last week picking the Bears over the Niners. I see it. Cleveland at home, cold weather, Jameis. I think Jameis is gonna come with a legendary pregame talk that's gonna strike fear in my quarterback. Hopefully not. Hopefully my quarterback and my team rises to the occasion. But you know what? We got our mind on that three-peat. So if we lose a game against little old Cleveland, we ain't worried about that. But give me the Cleveland Browns. I think they get upset of the year. Give me the Browns.
I appreciate the hospitality and the sportsmanship, I guess. I could just fuck you over and take Cleveland here too, and so we both could have lost.
Just
But
have a pride. Just have a
yeah,
pride.
just side with pride. But nah, I'll take the free win. I'll take Kansas City. They have all of their juju, devil worshipping powers at full effect right now, and I don't think that stops in Cleveland, where is the whole place cursed, I think.
Might be.
So I don't know. That just doesn't sound like a very good scenario. Some wacky shit's definitely going to go down in that game, but I think Kansas City will be the ones who walk away with the win.
Right there with you.
Well, not really. You picked Cleveland, but you know.
No, I get what you like. I get your reasoning.
Yeah.
It's the obvious. I'm just throwing a little Hail Mary. My quest to go. Like I said, I'm getting 1 week. I'm getting all these picks right. 1 week.
All right, E. We got our 3:00 games next. It's the New England Patriots visiting the Arizona Cardinals. How we feeling there?
Give me the Cardinals. Patriots are really bad. Cardinals got smoked last week. That division is really tight. Pause. Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I picked the Cardinals last week and it bit me in the ass. I don't want to pick against them just because New England's not great, but they are scrappy. I'll take Arizona too. I do like what Kyler has been doing throughout the season. I know
A little inconsistent,
but yeah, a little inconsistent. But all right, next, you got a banger at 3:25 on CBS. It is the Buffalo Bills visiting the Detroit Lions. Josh Allen versus Jared Goff here. E, how do you think this one goes?
Both offenses came off really, really incredible performances. Josh Allen made his best claim to an MVP that he can get. First person in NFL history, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passes, and no turnovers. Hooped. Still lost, though. That makes me more concerned for that Bills team all around more than anything. And their Lions are red hot, playing like the best team in football right now. They're playing at home, too. Give me the Lions.
I always pick against an NFC North team, and it happens to be either the Vikings or the Lions. Just thinking one of them is going to lose this week.
Both the teams ahead of the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to stick with it, though, because I think there's solid reasoning with Buffalo and how good they've been. I think they could go into Detroit and still win away from Dan Campbell and the boys. They were in a very, very close game with Green Bay last week, and Green Bay's a good team. I think Buffalo's better personally, and I think Josh Allen is playing at an MVP level. So I'm interested to see how their defense handles it. I just feel like their offense is a given to score fucking 30 points a game at least. But yeah, I will take the Buffalo Bills in Detroit.
Bet that.
All right, next up, we've got the Indianapolis Colts heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. E, where are you headed with this one?
The battle of the horses, but I'm tush. I still don't think the Colts are very good. Broncos, like I said, that defense is really, really good. And Bo Nix is not playing terrible. He's playing good enough. So, in that case, give me the Broncos at home.
Oh, yeah. This is an important game for both these teams. A lot of playoff implications. Oh, yeah. I kind of want to go with Denver, too. I like the way Sean Payton and Bo Nix have looked the last couple of weeks. And even though Anthony Richardson has been playing better, I still think he's not playing to the level that we think he can, or we thought he could.
We hope he can.
We hope he can still. So I'll take Bo Nix and the Broncos, the rolling Broncos. But all right, we got 2 more 3:00 games. Got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the LA Chargers. Chargers lose a tough one last week to Kansas City. Tampa Bay gets a win. This is another playoff implication. Weird game between two out-of-conference opponents, but hey, there's a lot riding on this because both these teams are in positions to make the postseason.
Yeah, both wild card spots at the moment, even though I think the Bucs probably end up winning that division because of how bad the Falcons are playing. But give me the Chargers at home. I think if they can keep the ground game going with a guy like J.K. Dobbins, I like their odds. I like how Harbaugh is kind of laying the foundation for this team and how he wants to build it going forward. Yeah, let me go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers here too because Tampa, as much as I love Baker and a lot of the things that they've done, they have been very inconsistent. And Baker himself has been very inconsistent the last couple of weeks, throwing a lot of picks, a lot of bad picks, in my opinion, too. And I guess it's, chalk it up to his game, the way that he likes to play. And, you do reap some of those benefits. But at the same time, especially during the playoff push and this time, you got to protect the football. And I think John Harbaugh and the Chargers will take very, very big advantage of, any turnovers or mistakes that Baker makes. But I'll take the Chargers here too. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers heading not too far away to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to take on the Eagles. This one should be a good one too, E. Man, I really don't know where I'm going with this one. Do you have an idea?
My heart is telling me the Steelers. Both these teams I fucking can't stand. I can't stand the Steelers and the Eagles. I just think these are the type of games we think the Eagles lose, but they don't, and they end up winning. So I think Philly wins this game. It's gonna be messy though. I think it's gonna be messy, a very exciting game where both teams are gonna have chances to win it. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Man, this is tough. Steelers are on a run. Russ has looked really good. We just talked about the Eagles at the beginning of the show too, and how dysfunctional things look in behind the scenes.
I spread a lot of hate too.
You did, man. And I don't want to ride with that hate, man. I'm gonna go with my guy, Jalen Hurts.
You're gonna say my Eagles too. You were about to say my Eagles.
No, I was gonna say my guy, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. The guy that you were talking a lot of shit about. You always talk a lot of shit about him. So I'm expecting him to have I'm expecting him to have a impactful game in Philly against these very good Steelers, man. They really we know they were gonna go over 500. That's just the Mike Tomlin thing, but since Russ has come in, I've been really impressed with the Steelers, and I definitely would not be surprised to see them walk away with this win.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Russ has been playing great. What game we got next?
Next up, we've got our Sunday night football game, and that, of course, is the Green Bay Packers heading to Seattle to take on Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
I think so too. We got some good ones this week, man.
No, we really do. We really do. It's probably one of the better weeks that we have. I like the way the Seattle as a team has been playing the past couple of weeks. They've been winning the games they need to win to stay ahead in the division, even though they're only up a game, really 2 games from pretty much everyone else. I think a win like this almost guarantees them a win in the division. I just don't know if Geno is going to be able to put enough points up, even though I've liked a lot what they've been doing with Jackson Smith and Jigba. What a great season he's been having, especially with DK missing a large portion of the season. This is what I thought they were going to look like last year with the two of them, but they finally figured out that Jackson Smith and Jigba's route running is best used cutting inside the field and not to the sidelines. Who would have thunk? And he's been balling ever since. I just don't know if they're going to be able to score enough points in total to keep up with that Green Bay. Because, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of how the way that offense and Jordan Love has been playing. But at the end of the day, they put points up on the board by hook or by crook. They might turn the ball over, but they're going to come down and score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me the Packers in this. I haven't really. I gotta see with my eyes the Seahawks win a big game against a good team, not a contender, before I can say confidently that they are in that group. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they did a good job beating the Niners, right? But I gotta see them win one against one of the big boys.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this would be a huge win for Seattle if they're able to pull it off. But I really do like the way Green Bay. I thought last against Detroit, Josh Jacobs was going absolutely bonkers with 3 touchdowns. I think he's top 5 in the league in rushing right now, which is awesome. And he's been great for losing Aaron Jones this offseason. So I'm gonna take the Packers too against Seattle, and hopefully we get Jair Alexander out there too, because I'm expecting Jackson Smith and Jigba to cook the Packers secondary if Jair Alexander is not out there. So for all of the people who are allegedly betting out there, keep an eye on that Jair Alexander injury report, because if he's out, slam the Jackson Smith and Jigba numbers. I promise you. I promise you. He's going to cook whoever is playing corner for the Packers. Keyshawn Nixon. It could be
trash like that.
Eric Stokes, Carrington Valentine. It does not matter. All of those guys will get cooked by Jackson Smith and Jigba. So trust me on this.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Seattle needs this game more than y'all do. I think if y'all win, I don't think y'all catch Detroit. Probably don't even catch the Vikings.
Minnesota, the way they're playing, yeah.
The Vikings have the tiebreak over y'all at the moment, right?
Yes, they do. We meet with them one more time next week, actually. So at the beginning of the show, I had misspoke and said we were playing them this week. We're playing them next week after Seattle. So for us, that's a chance to move up. We have to win the game this week in order for us to even have a chance to move up and pass the Vikings. So, yeah, I mean, the Packers aren't it is an important game for the Packers, but I'm with you. I think Seattle definitely needs this more. They're in a more pressing situation.
Like I said, they're ahead and they're playing great, but they're also ahead by not that much. They're 2 games ahead of the Niners and the Cardinals, but they're only 1 game ahead of the Rams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think if they do win this game and go 9-5, it guarantees that they will make the playoffs. No matter how hard the schedule, because their schedule is hard on the way out. They still got to play the Rams one more time. They play y'all. If I'm not mistaken, I think we just searched this up and
I think they play Minnesota too.
They still play Minnesota one more time. Their schedule's hard to end the year, man. They're at 8 wins. Like I said, I think with that NFC West, first team to 10 wins gets it done, wins that division.
Yeah, very, very well could be the case, my friend. But
next, let's get to the last 2 Monday Night Football games.
Yeah, doubleheader on Monday night, man. I love it. E, do you want to present these?
Yeah, I got you. 2 Monday night games. Not really. I wouldn't say they're not too competitive. Kind of teams all on the same level. Minus, with one matchup is. First game up, we got the Bears at the Vikings. I think we're both in agreement in this. Divisional game, so anything can happen. But the way the Vikings are playing football, especially their defense, give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings.
I would absolutely love it if the Bears would come out and upset the Vikings. I just don't see it. The way that the Bears are playing right now, dude, it is atrocious. It is so bad. And I really don't know how they're going to be able to play against this Vikings team who are so hot defensively. So I'm with you, Vikings.
Another mid matchup between 2 mid-ass fucking teams to end the week. We got the Raiders, who are in the Travis Hunter sweepstakes, 2-11 at home against the Atlanta Falcons. And Kirk Cousins is looking like he's going to cook this season.
Can we talk about the Raiders real quick? Because I don't think they're going Travis Hunter. I think they're going Shedeur.
I think they're going Shedeur too. I think
no matter what. I think if they get the number 1 pick, they're going Shedeur.
I think they're locked in. There's been too many reports. You got the Shedeur tweets after each one of the Vegas games that they lose, talking about thank goodness, thank God for another day. I think the Sanders family has kind of set their sights on
Vegas.
Vegas and rebuilding the Raiders. But I don't think that's going to make much of a difference because they're really bad. And the Falcons are playing bad, more so on offense than anything. But give me the Falcons this week.
Yeah, I feel really bad about the Falcons just because they have not played very well either. Their defense is rough. But the Raiders are just not a good team in general. So, yeah, I'll take the Falcons here too.
Yeah.
But that wraps up our Week 15 NFL predictions. Anything else we need to talk about, cover before we wrap this up?
No, man. The only thing I would say is thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and tune into all the other content. We got some cool end of the year content. We're going to do our AWR awards. We are going to get our Kendrick review. I know we've been saying it for the past 2 weeks, but it is coming soon. So by hook or by crook, more content will be out for the end of the year. So just tap in.
Hell yeah. What he said. Thank you guys for watching. Hey,
Peace.
you said it perfectly, man.
Peace.
Hey, peace.